Hi everyone, and welcome to Cooking with Cricket. I was asked by my cousin, who her best friend is getting a divorce, and so Tabitha, my cousin, asked me could I make her a divorce cake. So I've never heard of a divorce cake before, but she sent me a picture of what she wants the cake to say. So, but the rest of it, I just gotta kind of go with it, kind of make the cake look festive and fun. So, her friend likes chocolate cake, so I've done made the chocolate cake part. So now I'm gonna make some chocolate buttercream and then some ganache to go on top. So real quick, I just thought I would just show you just the process of the chocolate buttercream. Now I'm making a lot because I like to have a little bit left over, because I'm doing a 3-layer cake and I don't want there to not be enough and me have to stop and make some more. So I'd rather make up and have more than enough, because then the leftover I can put this in an airtight container and keep it for a little bit. So anyway, I've got 3 sticks of butter that I've let set out and soften to room temperature, and that's a 1.5 cups, but if you was just making a normal recipe you could cut this in half. So I'm going to let my butter cream real good. Now I'm going to scrape it down and just let this butter whip up for a couple of minutes. And I may stop and scrape it down a couple of times, but I'm going to want to make sure there's no lumps in the butter or anything. And then I'll be back. Alright, my butter's good and whipped. Now I'm going to be adding around 3/4 cup of cocoa. And I did sift it. This is unsweetened cocoa. And I did sift it because cocoa powder has lumps in it. So I'm going to be adding that, and I'm going to start off with the 1/2 cup of powdered sugar to let that start incorporating. And now I'm going to put in a pinch of salt, just a pinch, and then about a teaspoon of pure vanilla extract. I'm going to start this out on low so it don't go everywhere, and then increase the speed. I want that mixed in with the butter real good. I'm going to let this mix in real good for about a minute. I'm going to start adding my powdered sugar slowly, 1 cup at a time, till I get it to the consistency that I want. Now when I add powdered sugar, I let that beat in real good before I add the next cup. So I'm going to continue to do this. I'm not even counting. Because I'm making more, but normally for just regular, you would just add 2 sticks of butter. That's a cup of butter, around a 1/2 cup of cocoa, a little bit of salt, a little bit of vanilla, and around 3.5 to 4.5 cups of powdered sugar. But I'm making more, so I'll be back when I get to the part if I add any more liquid, like some heavy cream or anything. Alright, I have mine to the perfect consistency, because I want mine to be a little bit thick. See, if you don't want yours that thick, add a little bit of milk. A teaspoon to a tablespoon at a time, and whip that in. And I am still debating. I almost want to melt some semi-sweet chips and pour it in there to give it a little bit more of a chocolate flavor. And I'm still debating on that. But when you get it to the consistency that you like, then turn your mixer on and let it whip up. I let mine go for about another 5 minutes. Okay, instead of melting the chocolate chips, because I don't want this to seize up, and I don't know if it would or not, but I forgot I have this hot fudge topping right here. It's hard to squeeze out. I put it in the microwave just for a minute because I don't want hot stuff going in here because it will break down the buttercream. So I'm going to add a little bit of this. There, I've added about a couple of tablespoons. And now I'm going to whip this up and see what it tastes like. Alright, let me taste it. That's good. So now I'm going to scrape down the bowl real good. And then I'm going to let it whip up for about 5 minutes. And then it'll be ready to frost. I want to show you the consistency now that we've let it whip up for a few minutes. Look. It's a whole lot more creamy. And then that's the difference. It's going to be so good and it tastes so good. So just play with your recipes. Like I say, this isn't, I'm not even going to really write it down because this is just something I just played with. And I have a lot to work with. So let me get started on the cake and I'll show you when I have it done. Alright, excuse the shakiness of the camera, but I'm holding it with my hand. But here's the divorce cake that I'm done with. I put a ring and a for sale sign. And that's what they wanted written on the cake. And that's Tabitha. I've been sending her pictures. She loves it. And then I took a cookie crumb and put it right there. And this is ganache. I made some chocolate ganache right there on the border. And I let some of it run down the side and then did a border with the ganache and a border on top with the ganache. It's probably going to be so rich they won't be able to eat it. But I did a 3-layer chocolate cake. Tab said her friend's favorite is chocolate. So this is going to be a chocolate overload cake. But I think I did pretty good with it. And I have some leftover ganache because I used the semi-sweet chocolate to make it because I love dark chocolate, and I'm going to make some truffles with it. Except I'm going to dip mine in powdered sugar. But this is the divorce cake that I made for my cousin's friend. They wanted it very festive. So I hope they like it. I could have did that for sale better, but there's my cake. Let me know what you think.